I'm Sama and I'm one of the piano directors at the Treble Clef project. Today I wanted to talk about creating your own song. So this summer I've started making my own song and producing the music behind it, and I've been learning a lot, and I wanted to share with you guys what I've learned so far so that you can hopefully make your own song as well. At least for me, the whole process of writing a song and producing it sounded like so much work to me, and so I never really got started. But that's what I'm going to help you with today in this video, basically understanding the roadmap of the process and how to make it easier for you as someone who's just producing it on their own. I'm not any professional in music theory or music production either, so this is just an insight into what it looks like for a regular person to just make a song for fun. So the first thing that you should think of when you're thinking about what your song is about is what kind of message do you want and what kind of vibe do you want the song to have? Do you want it to be happy, motivational, inspiring, or do you want it to be more on the mellow or sad side with maybe a good message at the end? Because once you figure out that feeling and vibe of the song, then figuring out the music and how that will sound will be much more easier and fitting. The next thing I did was actually figuring out the chord progression for the background music of the song. And the reason I decided to go down this music path first thing rather than writing lyrics is because, at least for me, I'm not that technically knowledgeable of music theory, so I don't think I would be able to easily alter music to fit my lyrics. But if I found the chords and progressions and how the song would sound first, then for me I could easily fit the lyrics and the rhythm of the song easily with that. So specifically for finding the chords, what you could do is you can search up music piano chord progressions, and when I searched that up I basically found a chart of all these different chord progressions and the names of those chords, and in major key and minor key, so you can go through that list and figure out which chords you like and what really matches the vibe that you want for your song. Okay, slight setting change in the back, but I want to note that when you're finding chords, only think about the music and how it sounds, because you don't have to stick to your chord just being a chord played at once. Because for mine at least, I broke apart the chord, and you can always change how the chord sounds, but it's the notes and the bass of that chord that really matters. Okay, so now you have found your chords and you really want to see how it sounds and put it together. What I did was I put it onto Garageband, and Garageband is really nice because it's free, easy to use, and also you can change the instrument and how it sounds. So for me, even though I came up with the chords and played on the piano and all, I actually changed the sound to be an acoustic guitar instead of a piano, and because I thought that that string sound was delicate and it really fit the vibe of my song. Here's a little demo of what my GarageBand looks like right now. So this first track has the chord progression, the bass first verse chord progression. And what I did was I brought up this basically keyboard thing, I'm not sure what it's called, but I brought it up by clicking the letter E, and I could put in the notes and how long they last into this thing, and what's really nice is you could see the notes as a score once you put the notes in. And so once I did that, you can change what instrument it actually sounds like. So for me, I changed it from piano to guitar, which gave that delicate feeling that I really liked. As I mentioned earlier, I broke up my chord to be separate notes, and this is basically what that sounds like. So that chord progression basically repeats for each verse of my song. I would also recommend just finding different chord progressions for your pre-chorus / bridge and your chorus so that it gives a different sound and really puts the song together. If you also noticed, on my GarageBand I added some beats into the song, and you could always do that. I also added some hums, and those are just accessories basically to the song that I'm going to add later on, but I thought that it was sounding cool, and that's something you can always play around with when you're writing and producing your song. So far, that is how far I've gotten in the process of making the song. I've brainstormed some lyrics in a notepad, and I think that's really nice to have because when you're thinking of lyrics, especially as like a beginner or maybe like lyrics just don't come naturally to you, then it's nice to just always be thinking about lyrics or like rhymes that really go together. Maybe if you're in the shower or something like that and you like think of a really good lyric, it's nice to just remember it and remember to write it down because once you have all these little bits and pieces of lines, you can always put it together at the end and like refine the song to be really nice. So that would be the next step after you put all the like music together, like the piano chords and all. It would be to write the lyrics. And then like once you finish the lyrics, you can add in little accessories like hums, which are really nice to give like a, if you want like an ocean or like relaxing effect, or like just any type of like background vocals that make the vibe of your song pop. And then also beats, drums, anything you'd like. It can also be pretty simple and just have the piano chords, and like that could be it too. For specifically the recording your song, like lyrics, like singing it, I don't think it's that big of a deal to have a fancy, any like fancy microphones or anything. Honestly, like just a phone headphone recorder thing can be fine because I saw this video and actually Billie Eilish didn't use anything fancier like that, and her songs are like really good and popular. So especially when you're starting, I don't think worrying about the equipment and all is as important as just getting the lyrics down, singing it, and making the song. Because once you've pushed the first song out, I think from there, it's so much easier to make more and more songs and then improve going forward. So that's my advice for you, and that's what I've learned so far in my song creation process. I hope I was at least a little bit help in giving insight as to what it looks like as someone who isn't as experienced but really wants to dive into song production and writing, and just to see how it is to get started, because the internet is a really easy thing to just access and like learn things. And I hope this video really helped not overwhelm anyone, and so to really motivate anyone to start on that songwriting process.